A number of states are backing Texas in its fight with the Biden administration on border security. Utah, Florida, South Dakota, Alabama. These are just a few of the 8 or so states declaring in favor of Governor Greg Abbott. Yesterday, after 2 days of erecting more of the concertina wire at the border that the Supreme Court said the feds could cut down, Abbott released this statement on self-defense. In part, the governor writes, quote, "The federal government has broken the compact between the United States and the states. The executive branch of the United States has a constitutional duty to enforce federal laws protecting states, including immigration laws on the books right now. President Biden has refused to enforce those laws and has even violated them." James Madison, Alexander Hamilton, and the other visionaries who wrote the U.S. Constitution foresaw that states should not be left to the mercy of a lawless president who does nothing to stop external threats like cartels smuggling millions of illegal immigrants across the border. That is why the framers included both Article 4, Section 4, which promises that the federal government shall protect each state against invasion, and Article 1, Section 10, Clause 3, which acknowledges the state's sovereign interest in protecting their borders. The failure of the Biden administration to fulfill the duties imposed by Article 4, Section 4 has triggered Article 1, Section 10, Clause 3, which reserves to this state the right to self-defense. For these reasons, I have already declared an invasion under Article 1, Section 10, Clause 3 to invoke Texas's constitutional authority to defend and protect itself. That authority is the supreme law of the land and supersedes any federal statutes to the contrary. The Texas National Guard, the Texas Department of Public Safety, and other Texas personnel are acting on that authority as well as state law to secure the Texas border, end quote. Joining us now to discuss the importance of this situation is Wade Miller, the Executive Director of Citizens for Renewing America. Wade, thanks for being here tonight.
Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Great. So I hear many describing the situation as a constitutional crisis, right? It kind of goes both ways. The left will try and say that you have a rogue state and it's going against the federal powers that Biden has. And then in the other way, will say that you have the federal government trying to trample Texas, trying to protect and secure itself. So how would you frame what we're seeing right now at the border?
Well, there's no doubt, evidenced by the fact that President Biden is abdicating his duty to, he's not using existing authorities, not utilizing safe third country, not utilizing remain in Mexico. Of course, they got rid of Title 42 authorities, so those no longer can be used. I think there's little doubt that Article 4, Section 4 is not being upheld. And therefore, what is happening on the border is an invasion, as Thomas Jefferson, Sam Houston, and others would have defined it broadly. Cartels are certainly worse than smugglers, which is what Jefferson was dealing with, and said that the states could use these powers to thwart smuggling. Cartels are worse than Mexican cross-border bandits, which is what Sam Houston was dealing with at the time. So this is worse than both on both of those fronts. And Abbott is right to use this authority to say that under the Constitution, I have authority that is superior to any federal statutes to step in and do what is necessary. So I think it's a great development that he is fully embracing this authority. It's unequivocally embracing it, and that he's basing his actions now under that authority. So I think that where he needs to go from here on out is that right now he's in a deterrence posture. Under an Article 1 authority, he needs to repel what we're calling an invasion for constitutional purposes of what's going on the border, meaning that he needs to take people who are crossing illegally between ports of entry and remove them back into Mexico immediately, and do so repeatedly if necessary. If we can expand this action onto that front, defend it on Article 1 grounds, and set that as precedent, the entire border situation changes overnight. And so Governor Abbott has our full support. And of course, we hope that the state of Texas will defend the governor on Article 1 grounds. Of course, Attorney General Ken Paxton submitted a filing to the Fifth Circuit in September defending the buoys on Article 1 grounds, and that's fantastic.